Hey guys, how are you doing? Well, I finished the skeleton. Honestly, it's really hard to remake the skeleton, as you see right here in front of you right now, because it's in the little details. It's hard to rebuild a build that you did the first time, especially when you're creating it and filming it. You don't have the same amount of patience as when you're just trying things out. I try to keep it as accurate as possible, and I hope you think this tutorial kind of helps you. Anyway, enjoy the video. Okay, to start off this build, I started with the legs. Well, the upper part of the leg anyway. I just tried to see from a distance what would work and what wouldn't. And at the end, I just started to bend the front part, as you can see there. Then I did a lower leg, just a straight line, just to see how big it should be. And then I started adding the details. So of course it has two bones. And then I started adding the details of the upper leg. It's actually some sort of cross design. You're gonna see me build it real quick in a second. And of course I tried to make it go outwards a bit to make it more natural. Now you see this cross design here? Yeah, that's the way I'm gonna build. In other words, it's just one block in the middle and then adding one block on each side, and that kind of brings the well, makes it a bit more thick. Just add little details until it's like the perfect leg you want. For me this was alright. Then of course I did the lower leg. I started adding a few details later on, but first I made it in the direction I wanted, so one block to the inside, as you can see here. And I did the same thing for the other bone in the shin, like that, as you can see right there. Okay, there you go. Then I started adding details, but the lower shin is really hard because, well, it's a really thin bone, and well, I have one block as thickness for the upper one, but I tried to add two more on two sides, as you can see over there. And I tried adding a few details by making the zigzag a bit every now and then. And then I ended up with the lower part of the bone. And I finished off by doing the knee. It's not the best design, I think, but it's something. Anyway, that's that for this one. So for the feet, it's actually a pretty weird design. In the beginning, it's gonna look like a real derpy kind of thing. I just added some detail to close that off. The center bone of your feet is really random bones as well, so that always fits kind of alright. But after that, it's it's really weird. You just have to make one big line, put one block every 2 blocks, and that's gonna be that, as you can see here. You can do it as you want, of course. If you want to add 4 toes instead of 5, that works. Nobody notices, and it looks a bit more natural in Minecraft, even though you should have 5. I did 5 because I think it's just alright, but really close though. But it works alright in my opinion. So anyway, just gonna continue building the toes now. Oh yeah. If you add these two, one really close to the other, it still kind of fits. Just make sure they aren't aligned exactly. You're gonna see that in a second. But now I'm gonna do the first toe. This one is gonna be add that little detail over there by just deleting that. Then you can go up, because of course when you sit in a kneeling position the feet are gonna go upwards, so, and that actually works out perfectly for this build because it looks a lot more natural. Of course this is the big toe, so it's still a little bigger on the top, so I added that little detail there. So the next one is gonna be a little smaller, so just gonna build it like that and go one up again like that. And then it's the same kind of thing you have to do for all of them actually. So yeah, add that little detail there again. Then one shorter, so go up again, one before that. And same thing for the upwards part. There we go. And then these two are gonna be really short, like that. And to add a little detail for the last toe, there you go. For the last toe, it's just one before that one, so it still kind of looks like two toes for some reason. I have no idea how I fixed that, but it kind of worked. And then I added random blocks over there to add the detail, and you kind of can do the same thing, just add random blocks. You'll see that it will end up alright. And there you go. That's that for the feet. Then for the ribs, I sped it up a lot because it's a really easy thing to build. I just made a half circle like this, and every single time I go down another rib, I go down 3 more. Then make a circle around that is 1 block bigger to each side. So in other words, to his left side, right on this side rib, and of course to the front. Then, of course, when I went around, it would never be exactly 3 blocks, but I try to at least keep 1 block in between each rib. Then just keep on building, keep on going down. I stopped at 5 ribs. Of course, there's a lot more in the body, but it's Minecraft, you know. Same old. But anyway, when you keep on building, eventually you shouldn't really care about like making mistakes in the beginning. Just build the 5 ribs. And once they're done, you can try adjusting them and resizing them and making a new form. And really, you shouldn't be afraid if something looks weird, because honestly, when you look at it from a distance, as you should look, you're never gonna come up real close to it. It's gonna look a lot more natural. It's still Minecraft, don't be too hard on yourself. I didn't, and it still came out exactly the way I wanted. Okay, now I'm gonna add some details here, like that. It's again random blocks. Don't be afraid to put a lot here. Try to just make it go up a little bit at least, and a little platform for the arms. Okay, so now the shoulders are finished, we can start doing the arms. Again, I did a 1 block width size arm to see how big it should be, and then I started adding the details. I made it pretty big in the beginning, because well, I tried to see what will work out again. After that, I noticed that it's a bit too big, so I started deleting more blocks on the inside, actually. Well, on the inside of the arm. So I started deleting those, and eventually ended up with something I liked. Then, of course, after adding a few details, I started doing the lower arm. I know those are 2 bones, so to start off with 1, to see the angle that I needed, because I wanted it to be towards the leg, because I know the hands would be resting on the leg. Then I started angling it, and I eventually ended up with a design I liked. And then I started doing the second bone. That one would be entirely parallel to the lower one. And I tried to keep at least 1 block in between the 2 bones, because otherwise they would stick together and that wouldn't look alright. But anyway, after finishing that, I could start with the hands. Okay, so first of all, you gotta keep in mind that the hands are gonna be bending towards the inside. So I started building this again, same thing as with the feet. And then started doing the inside. Well, the pinky, actually. And how did I start building to this? I literally posed my my hands on my legs and saw what it would look like. You can do the same thing, and eventually notice that this kind of works, in my opinion. Started with the pinky and tried to see what it would look like that. It's gonna be looking pretty crooked, of course. It's impossible. I tried so many designs, and of course, well, this was the one I had to stick with. So I did the same thing here as with the pinky, but a little bigger, because this is the next finger, the ring finger. And eventually I got a design I more or less liked. There you go. Bam. I went 1 up as well, because I know it was bending towards the inside, so every finger would be higher than the last one. Well, most of the fingers anyway. Then I just continued doing the same thing. building that over there, deleting that, and don't be afraid to like go a bit crooked with those, like one up and to the side. Even though they're not really entirely sticking together, it still kind of feels like they're connected, and you'll still see the difference between the fingers. Oh, made a mistake there. There, that was hard. Now for the index finger, just do this, go up again. You can go a bit straighter with the last fingers. And then of course the thumb is the hardest part. I had some difficulty when I first tried doing the hand, and the thumb was really painful because I had no idea how to actually make a decent thumb. I first thought they would like start a bit higher and not even be connected entirely to the other fingers like this, but I had no choice. I did anyway, and it worked there more or less. It kind of bends more than the other fingers. So anyway, that's that for this part. Then I simply copy pasted one side to the other, and I finished the skeleton. Now I only have to add some little details. Just gonna finish off by adding like kind of tissue in between the bones to give it that I just finished, I just died, and I still have some tissue on my body left. And then I eventually ended up making some cracks in the bones to make it look a little destroyed. Well, that was that, guys. We finally finished the skeleton. I hope you actually were able to follow things. I hope I was of some sort of help. And especially I hope that you understand that this was a really hard build to make a tutorial on, especially because it's so many blocks and it's so random, and I seriously most of the time don't recall what I did last time, especially because when I built this build the first time, I had so much more time. I didn't have to make a video on it, so I was more relaxed into it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye bye.